right. I was just in the process of getting things merged in, and I realized I wanted to revert the changes to the our test level, and somehow I broke things. Trying to figure out what I did. Can we... Okay, I just tried to revert the change here. Oh, right, but it needs this line as well, doesn't it? Okay, now can you parse it? I try to open level1.tscn. Yes. Let's save that, and then there we go. Big slots commit. Alright, let's get this all merged, and we're gonna move on to something. Got a whole list of things to do. In fact, the thing that I did since the last Sunday stream was I, with the help of some AI, kind of sketched out what are all the things that I want to do with this project. What are the things I need to do to move it forward? One is a thing that I've been kind of avoiding, which will involve more time in Blender and more like level design and actually, you know, making this a proper game. What are these files doing here? Anyway, so I have a bunch of documentation. Yeah, Blender coming soon. So I have, here's the game design document that kind of outlines. This is essentially a dump of all the stuff that I had been doing in ChatGPT, kind of outlining where I wanted to take the game and how it would work and stuff, and all of that, and then going from that to like breaking out what are all the tasks. This document probably will not last for much longer because what I've been doing is I've been creating these as issues here on the project, right? And then there's the project view, which is what I've been working off of, right? So this guy, and so we have this broken out into phases where we have, is there a way to see this? I guess if we go to milestones. So foundational systems is phase one. It's like all the different coding to make achievements and tech tree and progression and saving and levels and basically all the stuff we've been doing until now. And included in that is some initial content. So we have, it's basically these things. In fact, I'm going to bring these over here ready as well. So all of the, oh, can I please drag? Nope, I can't. I'm not allowed to. Maybe I'll refresh the page. There we go. Okay, so that's all the phase one stuff that's remaining, which is, so we have obstacles, this general term that I'm using to describe defenses that zombies have to destroy before they get past, as well as like offensive turrets and towers and those sorts of things. All of those things are obstacles because they're the things that zombies can't go through. And then, so that's one thing I want to create. We have a little wall and we have a turret that just looks like a wall. What I want to do is I have identified some actual types of things. I'll show you that in a second. Here we go. So Spike Barricade is something, it's like a wall, but if zombies touch it, they get hurt. Electric Fence It does slight AoE damage to things that are near it, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like crates. Maybe, I don't know if I'll actually want to do that. We'll revisit that. But I want to leverage the tech tree unlock thing that I've been working on to be able to, like, you can do things in the game that unlock achievements, and achievements unlock more tech so that you can then build more advanced defenses, and that's progression. So we want to do that. Probably, yeah, that's phase 2. The other thing that I have built, but I haven't provided a UI for, is being able to have a save slot, right? So you might think, let me actually load up the game. You might think that music. Hold on. Turn that down. That, oh, well, you have this level, and you might notice, oh, I have XP already, and I have scrap, and I have a level. What's up with that? I just started the game. Well, the idea will be that when you load the game initially, you will have a ability to choose a save slot, and basically between all the levels, your earned scrap and XP and level. Maybe I'll rename. We got 2 different uses of the word level here, right? So the scenario, there we go. You'll be able to play, and then you'll be able to take the earned XP and scrap between scenarios, is kind of what I'm thinking right now anyway. We'll see. I might have to think about balance for that. Like, maybe you don't take the scrap between scenarios, you keep your XP. But the idea is you would be able to earn achievements, and then those achievements would unlock tech. And so your tech unlocks and your achievements would carry with it, and you would be able to replay scenarios. You would be able to, in fact, let me take a note here. I think I've already decided, rename game level to scenario. Cool. Also, let's where is Godot? Okay. Stop the game so we don't have the conflicting music. Okay, cool. And then I want to work on level. What do we have here? Level 2, Campfire Survivors theme, circular arena with the central campfire, survivors held around it, enemies approach from multiple directions. So we'll probably go back and refine level 1. The idea with level 1 is that it should be fairly simple. It might serve as effectively like this tutorial, where you would have a single survivor. You would have the survivor is on a car or something where they're pretty safe anyway, to give you that a very easy mode start. But we'll come back and do that. Essentially what I want to do for phase 1 is have something that demonstrates the mechanics of the game, the progression, and actually get a little bit of practice building a little level. And then we will figure out how to make the survivors panic and run around, right? So they need to, I think I say this in the game design doc, but the idea is the survivors will not run away from danger. Truly, they will like run a little bit, but they'll be confined in an area where they can't actually escape. It sounds really bad when I say it that way, but they're fairly helpless. They panic, and it's up to you to save them. Is that the feel that I'm going for here? And then in phase 2, then we have a lot more like content. I have this really cool graphic that was AI generated that I want to like create a custom font and some artwork based on this feel and these colors, because I really like it, and I want to kind of, you know, jazz up the color scheme and that sort of stuff in the game. Phase 2 will also be like some additional enemy types. So we have like little zombie, big zombie right now. We need to have some with different abilities and those sorts of things. Support towers, some more like AoE buff effects sort of things, being able to upgrade towers, and some additional levels. And then phase 3 is where we start implementing. I have some vague ideas of like a challenge or endless mode for this as well, to make it more than just like a disconnected set of scenarios. So we'll see about that. And then there's a bunch of stuff in phase 3, but it's also like where I want to start polishing the game. And somewhere between now and then, we can fix the fact that the zombies' arms are T-posed and they just rotate. We get some audio and those sorts of things. Phase 4, I have some ideas for more features. We'll see if that happens. And I don't know. 4 and 5 are kind of, I don't know. Somewhere in there, we are actually looking at a kind of neat little game. That is far in the future, though. So for now, what do we want to do first? Maybe obstacle types. Did we get this PR merged? Let's merge it. Okay, cool. We don't need this tab open either. All right, so let's switch over to main. Pull down changes. I'll keep my issues open because what I'll do is I'm going to assign this to me. And then let's take a look at the tech tree. So I have continued on with the idea of having this config folder where we have resource files that define various things. And we have this idea of a tech node resource that has all these different properties that can be set. And this is all well and good and very helpful. Like if we want to look at the Spike Barricade, right? We could edit it here. Did I... yeah, reload. But we also have something else that I need to, it's a little glitchy. That's big in this. So we have a node-based editor for the tech tree. I think the layout could be, let's redo the layout. There we go. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to change the existing walls to be stacked crates. Minor slow on content. No. So this is all editable. Unlocked obstacles wall. Save changes. Oh no. Invalid assignment of property or key. Progress it. Tech IDs. Did that? Let's see. Do we have a bug? Let's refresh. That did not save. Okay, so let's So you can see I have sketched out kind of different things that you would get that you would be able to place in the world. Now, obviously, we have to actually do the artwork. We have to implement the functionality of the things in the world, all this stuff. But yeah. Okay, first, do I... Let's not focus on that now. Let's capture what the issue is, and then we'll work on that later. Because I want to actually work on some actual content. Oh yeah, there we go. So here's the thing we can do. I get an error in the, what did I call this? Tech tree editor. Tech tree editor. Can you open an issue for me? All right, well, that's doing that. I can manually change the file. All right, so it's just a simple wall. An unlock obstacle ID wall. Let's also... Yeah, so this is just out of date. Let's refresh. We're gonna work on this issue. And we're going to say... There we go. And then this is going to create an issue for me. Seems fine. All right. So we want to work on this, and what else? Create Spike Barricade electric fence. Spike Barricade and electric fence. Yeah. Well, let's do these one at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the look of the wall to be a set of crates. Thinking about how far I want to do that. I think for now what we'll do is we will just do simple models. I won't worry too much about texturing for anything. So this will be still pretty rough, but I think that'll be better for now. So we'll have this. The Spike Barricade, what is this going to look like? Blocks enemy pathing and deals contact damage. So it's like the crate, but this will be like a barbed wire fence or something. How are we going to do that in a way that's going to be maybe not a barbed wire fence then, because that's too fine of a detail for kind of the scale of things. Maybe more like pointed sticks in a row, something like that. And then electric fence, I don't know how that's gonna look. It'll be like a metallic fence with some kind of something that indicates it's electrified. How's that gonna work? I don't know. Okay, well anyway, Blender time. It's loading. All right, so bring this down here. Do we not have like a solarized dark theme that we could use? Side quest, really quick. I mean, there's Blender Dark. Blender solarized dark theme. Maybe in themes. Nothing. Nothing. Terrible. Okay. Fine. We at least have dark mode. Okay, so I think I have an existing wall. Also, we can delete Suzanne. I'll do that inside of Godot. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Oh right, I don't even have a wall blend. So the wall, isn't there a where does that live? Entities, obstacles. Is it just a base obstacle? Is that what I'm using as the wall? Yeah. Huh. How does that work? How does any of this work? Oh right, there's an obstacle registry, right? Also, I need to move these files. They should all be in docs. Config obstacles. Right, so the obstacle registry reads the configs from here, right? So the wall is this, and it selects the scene, which is currently the base obstacle scene. Yeah. Yeah. So, cool. That's how that works. If we look at the base obstacle script, what's going on in here? This hooks up the health to our signals. And this supports the idea of placing. We get the size of the mesh instance attached to the obstacle. And this supports the idea of removing it. And so the idea here is that so does that mean that if we look at the basic turret, yeah, this extends. It inherits shooting obstacle. And shooting obstacle inherits from the base obstacle. Okay. That's fine. So when we look at basic turret, I see. So just thinking about how all this works. This inherits a mesh instance from this scene. So thinking about this, what we should do probably in this script, back to the script, we currently assume that there's a mesh instance on this path. What we should do instead is we should say export mesh instance. and then we remove mesh instance from here. Oh, and then we shouldn't have collision shape either. Yeah. Do we refer to collision shape in any way? I think not. So we just remove that as well. And then what would be cool is, can we there's a thing that you can do. We're gonna get back to Blender. I just got to sort out kind of how all this stuff is organized. There's the thing you can do in Godot. Warn if node is not configured correctly. Get configuration warnings. Okay, cool. So then what we can do for obstacle is we can create this function, and then what is the actual signature? How about we just don't worry about it. So if there is no mesh instance associated with this, then it will give us a warning. And so when we go back to Godot, I was hoping that would work. Call. Ooh. Oh, I see. So what we need to do here, I missed half of this, right? So var energy. Can you do this? Or are you set? We don't need to provide a get, do we? Will that just work? I don't know. But if we set it, then we can update configuration warnings. Now, does that do anything? No. That's nice. So we have broken things, but it's fine. Because what we'll need to do is we will need to add the meshes that we want. But this is good. Now, if I could just get this warning to show what I want it to show, that would be really great. Right, so this is using shooting obstacle.gd. Shooting obstacle.gd. Which extends placeable obstacle, which is this, right? Is there anything else I need to do to make this work? If the script overrides, okay, elements in the array returned from this method are displayed as warnings in the scene doc if the script that overrides it is a tool script. So to make this work, we need to say @tool, and then if we go back to obstacle, still no. Script is currently running in it. Yeah. I was really hoping that would work. What if we reload the current project? Whenever something is not quite working right, reload the current project. All right. Ooh. Yay. All right. No configuration warning. Mesh instance 3D is not assigned. This node has no shape. It can't collide. So this, then in basic turret, we don't see this error. I would really like us to see it. That's good. Right, so this inherits shooting obstacle. And this inherits obstacle. So why don't we get the warning here? Create a node that extends that base node. I want them to show the warnings. So the derived nodes also have to be marked as tool to make this work. Hey, here's a warning. The base class script has the tool annotation, but this script does not have it. So we go back to here. Now, if we go to shooting obstacle, and we reload the current project again, I guess. Now we get this warning here. Now in basic turret, yes. Yes. Okay, cool. Great. Because this uses the shooting obstacle GD, same as this does. The difference is that this scene had a separate script that inherited from the other script. But the concrete scenes for the different things will reuse the base script. So it's not like we're gonna have to put that at tool and do stuff to a bunch of different files. There shouldn't be that many. So the other thing we need to do is in here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a scene directly inside of concrete, and it's going to be let's see, how do we do this? I guess if I go to obstacle here, obstacle, can we create a new inherited scene? Yes. And this new inherited scene will go into entities, obstacles, concrete, and we're going to call this crates. Where it's coming together. There we go. Okay, so we have the scene, and it tells us that there are problems. There's no mesh instance 3D, and it doesn't have a collision shape. So we need to add those things, and then there aren't really any other properties here. So we're gonna finally get to Blender. We're gonna get to Blender. So how big is a crate? This is going to be kind of similar to the thing we did the other stream, where we made a stack of boxes. But this is going to be more wall-like, I think. We'll have a little bit of variation here in how these are arranged. Shifty. That doesn't seem quite right, does it? Let's do, it should definitely not be floating. All right, and then shouldn't be intersecting with each other either. And we can have some variation in size a little bit. They don't need to be too uniform. Okay, perspective orthographic. Okay, let's stay orthographic. Why? So we can refine this, and definitely just like adding texture would go a long ways. But we can add we can add a material. Okay, come on. It's hesitating there for a little laggy. What's going on with that? Doesn't like me, doesn't like me. Hold on. Okay, cool. Crate. And what is the base color of a crate? Kind of a woody brown. Sure. Roughness. And so if we look at this in Blender, hello? Okay. There you go. Beautiful. All right, so this is not a pile of boxes at all. This is a stack of crates. Save. Okay, so in our assets, we have a model, stack of crates. We'll bring that into here. Kind of center that up. And what do we want to do? We need just open it anyway. Okay, so that's just that. Do we go to import and we look at how we imported that model. Let's see. Meshes, materials. Do we? How do we want to do this? Probably we want to join all the meshes together. For how this is set up, but what am I looking for? I'm looking for something where we I think physics. Yeah. Okay, so before I do that, let's go back to Blender. Select all these things. Is it? It is Control J. All right. So then when we go to advanced, we can select one mesh. And we can say physics on. That'll give us collision. I don't think we even want to do that, do we? Do we want to just what do we want to do here? I guess this is fine. I'm trying to think of the right way of doing this. So we do this and we say, hey, mesh, create collision shape. And do it here. What? That doesn't look like the right collision shape at all. Mesh, create collision shape. Use single convex. What does that look like? Looks like it doesn't work. Simplified convex. Nope. Collision shape. Multiple convex. What's going on here? How do we do this? You know, there's a simpler thing we can do, honestly, which is add shell node, collision shape 3D, and then we just box shape, and then we make something that is roughly the right size. And that is honestly probably just the better way to go about doing this. Let's do... get it just about right. And then... what is this perspective? X. Okay. There we go. view. And never mind. It's fine. And then E. And Y. And X. Okay. So there we go. That's roughly the right thing. And what is this complaining about? Mesh instance is not assigned. That's right. So we need to assign cube to it. And now we have our crate. So then to use this, we go to the wall obstacle type resource. And it's just called a wall. A basic wall to redirect enemies. And what we do is we select a different scene. So we click load and we say crates.tscn. There we go. That's interesting. Required tech IDs. I think we actually need something in here because it needs to line up with the ID of the tech, which is OB crates. Okay, so what have I broken? So now, oh yeah, we've broken turret. That's fine. If we look at the tech tree, so you can see stack crates is available. We can unlock it and close this, and then wall. Okay, could not find mesh instance 3D for obstacle and scene wall. Interesting. Instance 3D and obstacle scene wall. Where is that coming from? An obstacle scene. I think there's probably something where we've hard-coded a path. Yes. So we say, hey, you have an obstacle. Get the node that's the mesh instance 3D. So that's no longer a thing. Instead, we need to obstacle type scene. So every temp obstacle should be an instance of placeable obstacle. And then we do mesh instance. There we go. And that is the thing that we broke. What else did we break? I'm sure many things. So if we look at the tech tree now, the stat crates. Okay, so right. One of the aspects of how the saving works for this is that you have to complete the level for the things that you do to save. Now, I think for the tech tree, we may want to I don't know. We can unlock it here. That's fine. We'll start game. And then here's a wall. Now that's interesting. The preview looks a bit different than the actual thing. What's up with that? Huh. What's up with that? Now the turret is broken, and we'll work on that. So why is the preview so much larger than the actual thing? So apparently we can almost do that. So here you go. Why is the preview much larger than the actual thing? Are we doing something? Oh, I know why. So I know why. When we look at the, let's go back to 3D. Here we go. When we look at this, so what we're doing is, boy, let's can we just, yeah, I know you can't. Oh, I didn't like that. When we look at the transform, the scale here. Okay, we're not scaling that. So what we're previewing is this scale. Yeah. I guess that's fine. Honestly, if we want to scale, we should scale here. What does this look like if we just didn't scale down the crates at all? So basically what's happening though is that the why don't we have a wall? We don't have a wall because we have not yet saved unlocking stack crates in the tech tree. All right, and then if we unpause, we can right click and put wall on our hotbar, and then yes, the wall looks the same size as the preview. And we can overlap a little bit. I think that's fine. Why does it think it can pass through there? Also, what's your deal, zombie? Okay, 4x, please. Also, we can make it go faster. Also, let's turn off the music. Goodbye, music. So what are you gonna do here? Oh, you're gonna walk right through it. Interesting. Okay. Why? Oh, I know why. Because now the collision shape doesn't match the size of the things anymore. Oh no. Let's fix that. Yeah, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Z. Nope, nope. I wanted to change the height. Add X. That looks fine. And then Y. Y. Okay. That should fix that. Oh yeah, right. So, hold on. Tech tree, unlock it, close, and I'm gonna actually finish the level this time so that we can actually move on, so we don't have to keep on dealing with this situation. But yeah, there you go. So now when I place it, it does update the pathing because it knows that it can't walk through there. Insufficient clearance, it says. Okay. Cool. All right. So if we just keep on building obstacles, eventually we'll get to the point where it's like, oh, well, I can't to where I want to go anymore. So what should be happening now? Ah, yeah. You can almost see it. There we go. It's damaging the wall because the wall's in its way. Now all this could be faster, so I don't have to go at 4x speed. But yeah, now it found a way through. I kind of like the crates because they're not a perfect barrier. I'm not happy with there's like there needs to be the ability to zoom in and out a little bit finer grained right there. I wonder if that's because I'm at 4x speed. Is that influencing the speed that I'm... No, it's kind of... There is a jump there that I don't like. But yeah, eventually he will tear down the crates. 0, and then yay! All right, so we killed the zombie. Wave is completed. Victory. That will save the tech tree, so that next time we start, we immediately have that, and we don't have to unlock it again. All right, cool. So somehow it's been 3 hours, and I feel like we've accomplished some important things, but it's always, you know, it's weird how time flows. What I'm going to do is I am going to commit what we have so far. This branch I will continue to work on because there's still a lot more to do. Yeah, so basically that stuff. So I'll get like a draft PR of this. And because there's still, we need to add 2 more types of defenses. Where is my browser? There we go. We need to add, you know, electric fence and spike barricade, and well, see, this is actually already done, right? Because obstacle registry will read any of the obstacle resource types in the directory, so that just works. The hotbar UI also already does that. I think let me refine this a little bit. Can we edit? Yeah. No. I want to edit the description. Where do I edit the description? There we go. All right. To auto add newly unlocked obstacles. So that's something it's not doing today. I have to like right click the hot bar slot to be able to put it in there. Test that obstacles are only available when the corresponding text. Yeah, we can see that. Although we'll test it again once because we haven't added something that. No. We have seen that. We have seen that because, yeah, pretty sure that's right. Okay, so progress, slow but steady. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna find someone to raid, as we do at the end of stream. And I am going to do that. First, I'm going to open this PR. Or I'm going to at least get this far. And say thanks so much for coming out to the stream today. Brainless, it's nice to have some company. And others that may have come and gone, worked.